Good evening, everyone. My name is Sam Seymour, and I'm the president of the New York City Bar Association, and it's my great pleasure to welcome all of you this evening. Tonight is truly a stellar night for us. This is now the 9th annual Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg Distinguished Lecture on Women in the Law. I'd like to first thank our distinguished lecturer, Dean Martha Minow, for agreeing to deliver tonight's lecture. It's a great honor to have Dean Minow at the City Bar, and I'm looking forward, as I'm sure all of you are, to hearing from her shortly. The City Bar established this lecture in Justice Ginsburg's name to celebrate her groundbreaking contributions to the advancement of women's rights and her achievements as a lawyer, law professor, and judge. I'd like to thank Justice Ginsburg for allowing us to create this distinguished lectureship in her name. It's hard to believe that tonight will mark the 9th Ginsburg lecture. We here at the City Bar think of Justice Ginsburg as one of our own. She served on our executive committee from 1974 to 1978. Justice Ginsburg, we appreciate your continued close involvement with the lecture, and we are honored by your presence here tonight. Indeed, as I often get to lecture from this podium and look up at your portrait right across from me here, I can tell you that we're honored by your presence every night, so thank you. Our illustrious speaker this evening will stand in a line of history that reaches back many years from this very spot, this historic podium. As an amateur historian, I've enjoyed compiling the list of those who once stood up in this very place to address the public and address the members of the profession. That list includes Chief Justice Earl Warren, Secretary of State Cyrus Vance, then Dean Elena Kagan, Secretary of State Madeleine Albright, Justice Thurgood Marshall, Justice Benjamin Cardozo, Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Judge Learned Hand, Chief Judge Judith Kaye, and Dr. Martin Luther King. And to that honor roll, we are so pleased tonight to add Dean Martha Minow. Over the years, the City Bar has worked hard to help eliminate gender bias in our laws, in our courts, and in our profession. In those efforts, we are building on the foundation of great pioneers such as Justice Ginsburg, without whose groundbreaking contributions to the advancement of women's rights and her own professional achievements, we would not be where we are today. Justice Ginsburg has long been a strong voice for justice, gender equity, and civil rights, working to eliminate gender bias in our laws and in our courts. After finishing among the top of her class at Cornell University, Justice Ginsburg attended Harvard Law School, where she was one of only 9 women in the class of 1959 before graduating from Columbia Law School. Upon graduation, Justice Ginsburg clerked for the Honorable Edmund Palmieri of the Southern District of New York, and in 1963 she became only the 2nd woman to join the faculty at Rutgers University School of Law. Later at Columbia Law School, she became the first tenured woman on the faculty, and while at Columbia, she founded the Women's Rights Project of the ACLU. As director of the Women's Rights Project, Justice Ginsburg argued cases, many before the U.S. Supreme Court, which challenged gender stereotypes and paved the way for new and better opportunities for women. Prior to her appointment to the U.S. Supreme Court, she served from 1980 to 1993 on the bench of the United States Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit. It is now my distinct honor to invite Justice Ginsburg to the podium to introduce tonight's distinguished speaker. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Please be seated. I am so glad to share with this City Bar audience the pleasure of listening to the Harvard Law School Dean, Martha Minow, a legal educator whose extraordinary intelligence resides in bright harmony with her inspiring humanity. She is an innovative scholar, writer, and teacher, and a public citizen of the most caring kind. Harvard University President Drew Faust appointed Martha Dean of the Law School in June 2010. Exceedingly well prepared for that office, Martha has served on the Harvard Law School faculty with uncommon diligence and collegiality since 1981. In that time, she has been an intellectual leader in shaping the school's curriculum, a sympathetic mentor to countless students, and a scholar of remarkable range and depth. Martha's passion is legal education. Her mind is trained not on law as an abstract academic discipline, but on the people, all of the people. Law exists or should exist to serve. Demonstrative evidence, the books and articles she has written, the courses she has designed, and the model of good citizenship she daily sets. I was introduced to Martha some 30 years ago when she was clerking for Justice Thurgood Marshall, and I was the D.C. Circuit's newest justice. Our introducer was then Senior Circuit Judge David Bazelon, the eminent jurist Martha had served the preceding year. To give Circuit Judge Pat Wald and me an unhurried hour to meet Martha, Judge Bazelon invited us to a Saturday afternoon lunch at a Chinese restaurant near the court. He told us that Martha was a young woman of wit and wisdom beyond her years, a person of humility rare among the clerkerati, someone who would do great things. His description, I found that first meeting and ever after, was right on the mark. I hold Martha Minow in highest regard and abiding affection. Legions of jurists, including my dear husband Marty, shared my appreciation of her many talents and her unpretentious manner. You are about to witness why. Please join me in a hearty welcome to Dean Minow to deliver tonight's lecture.